Hello friends and welcome to my channel. Today I'm working on Moda Blockheads 5 Group 2 Block 3. It is by April Rosenthal and it's called Shimmer Star. So I'm excited to get working on this one. This one looks like a super beginner friendly block, so I think it's going to go together pretty quickly. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do to make this block is we're going to make our corner units, which is made up of basically a 4-patch block. So for the 12-inch size square block, these are 2.5-inch squares. So we're just going to join these together and then join those rows together to make a 4-patch. So straightforward, simple. You're going to want to make 4 of those, one for each quarter of this block. So I chose the colors for this block. I decided to use this red and the white background with a little bit of pattern on it. I like the red because the corner pieces with the center sort of look like an Irish chain almost. And I really like the way an Irish chain looks. So I wanted to make that part stand out a bit, so I picked the brighter red. Okay, I'm gonna give those a press and then we can sew these together. And you're gonna make 4 of these. Okay. After you make all of these 2 pieces, you're going to make your 4-patch. So now I just have to join those together like that. The nice thing about this program is that at the bottom of your pattern, they give you a color sheet so you can see what colors, if you've got specific fabric bundle you're using, you can sort of color the blocks in with the colors that are similar to your fabrics and see if you're gonna like it. I really like that they did that. It's nice. So there's my 4-patch block. I'm just gonna press this guy. Okay, so once you've got 4 of those made, then you can move on to step 2. In step 2, we're going to make the middle units of the outer rows of this block. So I'm going to set this aside. And I've done one already, although you're going to make 4. So this is what we're aiming for. So in the cutting instructions, it told us to take a 5-inch square and cut it in half, which will be this bigger side. And then a 4-inch square of our background or whatever your outer piece. Let me see, I believe that was E. Yeah, E piece, which is I used as my background. A 4-inch square, cut it in half, and another 4-inch square and cut it in half that matched this fabric. So this is the D, this is the E, and this is the C piece. So what you're going to do first is you're going to, let me get this oriented the right way. Sew these 2 together. So you're going to sew your D piece and your E piece together. So I'm going to lay that on top of here. And then we're going to press this, and I'm going to press it towards the blue. And I chose the blue fabric for this one because I was waiting for, I've been wanting to use this fabric, and I was waiting for a kind of bigger unit or square to use this so you could really see this print. And I thought that the small flower in this balanced out with the big flower because you don't want to have 2 big flowers, or I just think it looked really good. So that's why I picked this one. And this again is Old Glory from Lily Boutique. It's her new fabric line. I just love it. I think it's really pretty. It's a nice new take on red, white, and blue. So I've got that piece sewn together, and I'm just going to press this. We're going to have this block together in no time. It's a really nice and easy block. Okay. So after you've pressed it, then you can join it to your other piece here. So I'm going to lay this on top. This triangle, I should say rectangle. This triangle is going to be smaller than the piece you just sewed together, because obviously we're going to trim this down. So I'm just going to try to line up the point at the top of this triangle with that seam right in the center that I just made. I got that point right on my sew line, and then I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine and sew this together. Now this is all for the 12-inch block. Alright, so again I'm going to press this, and I'm going to press it towards the larger blue triangle, just because there's one less seam on this one, so it'll be less bulky. And then after I press it, we're going to trim this down to 4.5 inches square for the 12-inch size block. I believe for the 6-inch size block it's 2.5 inches square, but I'm not making that one, so double check your math if you are. Grab my ruler and my rotary cutter. And on your ruler, you're going to find your diagonal line, the 45-degree line. Move this guy out of the way. And you're going to set that right on your seam line here. And I'm going to do the long seam line, not the little short one. I'm just going to do this long one. And I'm going to find half of 4.5, which is 2.25. And I'm going to put that 2.25 right in the center where these pieces intersect. Okay, once you've got that set, go ahead and trim your block. It's okay to take your time and make sure it's right, because once you cut it, you can't go back. And then I'm going to turn the block around, or the unit around, and trim. And trim. There we go. Alright, so there is one of our 4 units. As I said, I already did some. So I'm going to set these aside for a minute, and we're going to do the center of our block. And the center of the block is really simple. Like I said, this is a very nice and easy block today. So our center is another 2.5 inch square. And on either side of it, we're going to join, this is for the 12-inch size, a 1.5 by 2.5 inch rectangle. After we sew those on, we're going to join a 1.5 by 4.5 inch rectangle to the top and bottom. So I'm going to put the sides on first, press those, and then top and bottom. Okay, I'm going to press this and then use my iron put the solution on, I should say. Use my iron and get it nice and flat, and then we'll add that top and bottom piece. And that's our center. Really simple. Okay, now we can add that top and bottom piece. Okay, give this guy a press. All right, so there's our center. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay out this block. That's it. That's all we have to make. That's all the components. So we're going to add one of these guys that we made in the last step to either side of the center. We're going to put one up here to make the top row. We're going to put one of these guys here. The red is going to go touching the inside here. So I'm going to make sure I turn these the right way. There we go. Oops. And then our bottom row, I already made one row just to make sure I knew what I was doing. So there's our block right there. Beautiful and almost finished. Really quick and easy block. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these pieces to the center. Sew these pieces to the top piece here. And then we can put our rows together. And I'm going to press all these towards the blue. So the bottom and the top row I'm going to press in, and the middle row I'm going to press out. Just so our block or our rows go together really nicely. Alright, so let me press those and then we can put the block together. Okay. I'm going to put those rows, so I'm going to sew these rows together and then sew the bottom row on, and then we'll be done. Alrighty, there's our block. I'm going to press this and I'll come back and show you all of my blocks so far. Alright, well that was fun. That was a quick and easy block. That was nice. It was nice to have, sometimes it's nice to have a really quick block. Okay, so here is week 1's block, or block 1 I should say, of part 2. Here is block 2 of part 2. And today's block, block 3. Ooh, I really like that. Looks even better on camera. I like how the smaller floral balances out the big floral. I love this big floral. I was waiting for a week that I could use this and feature it. So really excited about that. I love the fabric. All right, well that's all of the blocks so far. I will see you next week for block 4. I have a feeling this sew along is going to go really fast because I actually can't believe that it's week 3 already. So take care until then and happy sewing. Bye.